All right, believe it or not, every single thing you do throughout the day has an impact on how your body will function. So if there's some kind of little glitch in there and then you continue to move and operate that way, well, you're going to reinforce that and then most likely cause some problems down the road. So what we do is take everybody through a movement screen as step one in the process. We're going to compare you to you. So we're looking at left, right, front, back. Are there any asymmetries? Something happening on one side, not happening on the other side? That's a big light bulb for us. Second thing we're going to do is take a look at you relative to some basic norms as far as how we should move. So then we can look at your motor patterns compared to how we should move. Now, one of the interesting things with motor patterns, it could have been an injury, an ache, a pain, something from 10, 15, 20 years ago. But when you have about 6 weeks of dealing with some kind of discomfort, you will begin to reroute your motor patterns, how you move, to accommodate for that. Now, once that's gone, you will continue to use these new patterns unless you go through a process to train those back out of you. So just think of it as kind of like computer input. So if we get faulty input going in, it's going to stick. We now need to write some code that's going to override that previous faulty movement pattern. So our movement screen, we're really creating the blueprint of you. What's tight, what's weak, what's not moving properly. We use that as the basic construct to figure out how to get you moving better and then layer in all of the other things that relate to performance and all that other fun stuff as we go, while keeping in mind your specific set of things that we found through your movement screen. So reach out today, get a movement screen with us. We'll take you through the process, figure out where your glitches are, and then get you on a better path. All right, with the toe touch and the reach back, we're looking for a lot of movement through the hip joint before you ever start to move through the spine. So taking a look at the toe touch, nice backward hip drive, and then we go ahead and fold, and no problem getting down to the toes. So we're looking pretty good there. Now, one thing I do notice is in the reach back component, what we should see is a nice continuous articulation of the spine, but what we see here is a fairly rigid line through the thoracic area. And what that'll do is cause you to find excessive movement and excessive loading into the lumbar spine. So really what we're trying to do is work on a little more thoracic mobility so that this becomes a curved line rather than a straight line. The standing rotation, we'd like to see the backside shoulder blade visible, but what we're really looking for are any kind of asymmetries. Are you moving better one way versus the other way? So as we take a look at these two, you can see we're not quite moving as well to the left as we are to the right. So a little less going on here, a little more going on here. With the standing rotation, it could have been coming from the hips, could have been coming from the spine. So putting in this position, we're elevating the knees above the hips so that we get a clear reflection of thoracic mobility. And then we'll catch you on the second one with each. And see if what we've been seeing as far as a trend is playing out. Yep, a little bit tighter going to the left. So looking at it from a few different areas, we see that thoracic extension, thoracic rotation, and developing better symmetry there is definitely something that needs to be worked on along with the shoulders. All right, some of what we saw with the asymmetry with thoracic rotation, we're also going to see pop up here with an asymmetry with the double reach back. So we'd like to get the hands within one hand width or touching, but we're also taking a look at symmetry, moving better one way versus the other. So we can obviously see screen right, much more distance between the hands than screen left, and we kind of map that up with the thoracic extension restriction as well as the rotation, and it all starts drawing a picture that we have some work to do on the thoracic spine.